Hi, Jacqui.
Hello, thanks for having me.
That's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for this because I'm sure people are going to be really interested to know how you managed to swing your own TV coverage for free. So, first question though, tell me a little bit about your business.
Upcycle Bride is an Australia-wide online marketplace.
Yeah.
We just allow brides to go buy and sell pre-loved wedding items, and then on the other side, we've got an Australia-wide wedding directory. So it's about coming up to 3 years, 2 to 3 years old now, or young, should I say? And yeah, it's just been going gangbusters. So it's exciting.
Oh, it's just such a great idea. I love telling people about it. I think it's very
Yeah.
clever. So, tell me about how you came across handle your own PR in the first place.
I was at the stage of looking for a PR. Obviously, never delved into any of it myself, so TV's quite daunting, and I thought that was probably the best way for me to get my name out across Australia, being Australia wide instead of local. So I was looking for a PR agent, and the one I was speaking to just didn't really have much faith in me, and she was for the budget that I had, it could only really get me into maybe Today Tonight or something like local. And I think because obviously I'd been searching it in Google, you appeared in my feed, and yeah, and pretty much never looked back. So much to the PR lady's disgust.
No,
I
you were very good. So you had a pretty clear idea. I think you and I had a brief chat on the phone about
yeah,
how it might work,
and it
and
was
then
launched, yeah.
and then you got Shane to write the media release, so our copywriter to write the media release for you, didn't you? And he also had ideas about angles, and then
Mhm.
you went off on your own, which is very. I'm just so impressed that we did. So, were you a bit nervous about contacting a producer in the
Yeah,
beginning?
absolutely. I still a little bit am. They sort of on a pedestal, but um, back then I was terrified of speaking to them on the phone, so I just spammed them. And they all picked up, which is great. And then I played them off each other to get sort of the better shows, and yeah, it's been really great. I think, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. It was so daunting in the first place, but having those lists, it just sort of takes anxiety away a bit.
So when you say you spam them, what did you do? Hey, so you approached them via email?
Yes, so I sent all of them individual emails. So I sort of personalised all of them, sort of make them feel a little bit more important.
Well
And
done.
yeah, and then once I heard back from one, I wanted Today or Sunrise or something on Channel 9 or 7 being the biggest station. So once I got one from the other, I messaged the other saying, "Look, I've heard back from them. Are you interested?" And then they all sort of picked up on it a little bit. So
Oh, that's very clever of you
yeah,
because they do think that if somebody else has got the story, it must be really good, so therefore they want it as well.
yeah, it was terrifying.
And what do you mean when you say that you were playing them off against each other? How did you do that?
So that was me just saying, look, I've heard from Channel 9. Is Channel 7 interested? Or I've heard from Channel 10. Are you interested at all? And yeah, and it ended up working well for me. So
And
yeah,
were none of them asking for exclusives and saying, well, if you do it with me, then you're not allowed to do it with any of the others?
absolutely. All of them were asking for exclusives.
So how
And
did you do it? Because you got on a few different shows in the end, didn't you?
at the beginning, I only got on the one on the Channel 9 mornings for the catwalk, but the one just recently, because they were different time slots. So one was the breakfast show on Sunrise, and then one was the morning show. They were okay. Mornings were okay to follow Sunrise, but in the end, they ended up being one after the other on the same day, just because producers were just faffing around with time slots and so forth. So yeah, sort of
No
backfired.
complaints from you, I imagine, on that
No,
mistake on their behalf.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just interested for other people in terms of when you were speaking with the producer, what are they like? Were they scary? Were they young? Were they old? How did you find them to be once you actually spoke to them?
They're people in the end, and yeah, they're not as scary as they were. The first time, I have to admit, it was so intimidating, and you seem to jump through hoops to please them, because you don't want to lose it.
No.
It's a massive opportunity, and so the first time going up there, I ended up flying to Sydney. They were ruthless, and they were willing to cancel it at the last minute if they didn't sort of get the look that they were after. And you know, fair enough, it is their show, but
But that must have been terrifying for you.
oh,
You'd flown over from Perth to Sydney by that stage, had you?
yeah, looking for
Right.
models, over to dresses, and yeah, I'd booked everything and paid for everything, so it was a lot of money out of my pocket for this. I was taking a big gamble, but it was, yeah, at the end of the day, with the second one, I ended up calling the shots a bit more. They were trying to sort of, they try to be intimidating a little bit, I think. And the second one, they were saying, you know, we want to go on this day, and the other person's like, no, but we want to go on this day, and you have to just put your foot down. And if they want the story before the other person, especially when they know someone else wants that story, they end up bending a little bit backwards for you, which is great in the end. So you end up having the upper hand. So, but at the end of the day, they are people, so they're not as scary. You can still talk to them. They're not. The worst they can do is say no, and you can work with each other. And yeah, they're scary.
And what about the story idea? Because just to show our viewers, you actually ended up doing a catwalk show. You had a whole segment, didn't you, on Sunrise?
Yeah.
Was it Sunrise?
Oh no, that
Or
was
the mornings.
Yeah, yeah.
Mornings. So who came up with that idea? How did you come up with the idea to pitch that to them, or did they suggest it to you?
They actually, it was, I think they thought maybe they were umming and ahhing what they would do, maybe do a catwalk segment. And then I was sort of, I suggested, for my own sake of saving some money, instead of having to go and hire models, that the people selling the items would model the items, and they thought it was a great idea.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they're open to ideas, and I guess you kind of, this is what Jules taught me, have to sort of paint the picture to them of what you could actually do on their show. So, you know, you've got the media release, but it's just in writing, so you kind of need to sort of paint the idea and the picture in the head of what it's going to look like on TV. So, yeah.
And they went for it, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, now one more question again for anybody that hasn't done TV before. What happened on the day? Like physically, what happens? You arrive at reception at the studio, and then what happens from there?
So Sydney was different to Perth. Perth is obviously, we're still a big country town over here, but Sydney was, you arrive there, a million security, and then you end up tiptoeing right past the set, which is really quite good. I was almost like a big groupie with Carl Stefanovic.
Yes.
And then, you basically get whisked off to hair and makeup. You get dressed. You're given your sort of almost like notes, your script the day before, so you do know what you're doing.
Right.
It still doesn't take any anxiety away, especially if you're live.
Didn't sleep a lot the night before then?
No, I had hives, I had a rash on my chest. But thank God for hair and makeup and high neck dresses. So,
yes.
But yeah, so you do look the part. I mean, you have to look good under the lighting. You can't look washed out or anything. But yeah, you feel $1 million, and it's great, especially if you're going on live. You need to feel great. So
And
yeah.
did the producer put your contact in there, kind of look after you the whole time?
Yeah, you do get left alone a lot because obviously they're live, so they have to rush around and do everything, but they do come in and touch bases, and you've got other people looking after you as well. But yeah, it's they were so great in the end, and they really they gave me the link. They put it on Jump In, they gave me the link, and the communication was fantastic. Yeah.
And so what did it do for your business? Just give us that last little sweetener of what it actually did.
Well, I had the first one when I did the mornings was morning show was the catwalk one. That was my launch, and I saw spiked. I was lucky enough to have it air on a Friday, so it then aired again on the Saturday. So I had 2 spikes of traffic to my website. But this last one where I did Sunrise and then Today Extra, which is the old morning show, it's the lead up. we rode the wave pretty much to the lead up, and then to the end of the wave afterwards. It's just been so busy, and it's kind of like the big turning point of
That's
of
brilliant.
Upcycle Bride, which is great. And I just want to do it again.
Well,
So,
you must.
I know. I'm thinking now what else I can
I
do.
think you should try for a current affair or Today Tonight. I think that's the next one that'll get you that.
Project. Yeah.
Those kind of, yeah. Project might be a little bit harder because I don't know that they do that kind of story as much, but I do think a
Absolutely.
current affair will love
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, look, thank you so
Thank
much for that, because I know you'll make a whole lot of people, well, maybe feel better or maybe feel even more nervous.
Yeah, and I'm just a country girl. I live in the tiniest country town in the southwest of WA, so everyone can do it.
Oh, thank you so much, Jacqui. Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And, come back to handle your own PR and we'll look after you.
Absolutely. No worries.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
See you.